I got a letter from some guy who said, Dan is a victim of me. I'm ragging Dan, and I'm hurting his feelings because I'm referring to him as a eunuch. There's absolutely nothing being wrong with being a eunuch. Look, some are eunuchs because they were born that way. That's eunuch number one. You say some people are born, and they're just not really turned on enough to marry people of the opposite sex. They're not born homosexuals. They're born eunuchs. Dan, so far, has decided not to marry. You say he's living the life of a eunuch. You say, what if he tomorrow, next year, when he's 50, he sees this little woman coming along and he says, you know I'm 47, but my cousin, Miss Kay's cousin, they were in their 50s before they married. You say, was anything wrong with them? Well, of course not. You have every right to say, I'm not marrying right now. I don't want to get married.
The interest is there.
Huh?
The interest is there.
Yeah.
It's just at the moment I haven't run across the sparks haven't gone off yet. Let's say so.
There's a eunuch talking. You're like, he's not married yet. No.
Yeah.
Now, America's description of Dan, America's description of you would be, he looked like he's going to be, they're kind of giving you a little room, but they're saying, look like he's going to be an old bachelor.
Yeah.
Or they'll tell a woman, look like she's going to end up being an old maid. So that's what America, humans call them, but they're not aware of these texts.
Yeah.
They are old bachelors. They are old maids. You say,
but I ain't old yet.
huh?
I ain't old.
You're not even old. You're young. You got plenty of time, Dan. Some are eunuchs because they were born that way, eunuch number one. Others were made that way by men. Now, Dan, I've never noticed one way or the other, but I would say that your genitals all in, like when you were born with them, you still got all your genitals?
Yeah, still got gonads. Yeah.
Still got gonads.
Yeah,
It's like, Dan's good to go. So some of y'all, hey.
Yeah, I'm in castrated.
You got to remember, everybody says, well, if you're a eunuch, that means you've been castrated. No, that's eunuch number two. And if you got the king and he's got a harem of chicks and he doesn't want anybody messing with the chicks, back in the day, these kings would say, go out there and castrate all of them. That way I don't worry about them messing with my chicks. That's why they did it. Brutal. You say, amazingly brutal. You say, that's the way they roll when king is law. You say, what he says, that's the way it is. You say, them poor souls. Whoo! So, that's eunuch number two. Eunuchs were made that way by men. And the third kind, and others have renounced marriage. And it says down there at the bottom, have made themselves eunuchs. I'm reading Matthew chapter 19. Write it down and read what I'm reading you. And you'll say, I learned something there. The Apostle Paul, 1 Corinthians, it's good for a man, are you listening? It's good for a man, Dan, this is great for you. It's good for a man not to marry.
He's told me this a lot.
Dan's in good shape. But, you say, what's the but? But since there's so much immorality, he wrote this to the church at Corinth in the days of the Roman Empire. You're like, was there a lot of immorality going on? Yeah. Well, what about marriage? Each man should have his own wife. Since there's so much immorality, you can circumvent it. I can't control myself. I get all hot and bothered. The Apostle Paul would say, you need to marry. Don't get yourself in a bind there, no sex, and you start going out there and Satan tempts you with some other woman or some other man. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all men were as I am, unmarried. But those who marry, Dan, are you ready? Will face many troubles in this life, and I want to spare you this.
You know, I probably fall more along the lines of category 3 there, with just being a godly dude and just waiting for the I guess sparks to fly and the right chick to come along at the right moment. But I'm interested. But at the moment, I may not be technically a eunuch, but by this standard here, I'm still, behaving like a eunuch as far as how I'm operating.
When you do get married, or if you do, Dan, once you get married, you
when
need
I
to
do.
contact this dude and you say, dude, chill out.
Yeah.
I'm now a married man.
Yeah.
So you just didn't give me enough time.
Yeah.
My dad didn't get married till he was older than I am, so.
I mean, I'm a grown man. If I'm having an issue with you on something, I think I can handle it. I don't need someone to kind of hold my hand here and help me figure out how wronged I've been.
So we're saying you better start there and end there. You'll be better off, no doubt about it. I'm out of here on this little take.
Well, I guess I'm done then too.